Meet John, a man who had fallen so many times in life that he'd lost count. But John wasn't just any ordinary person. He was a fighter, a survivor, and most importantly, a believer in the power of perseverance. John's story begins on a cold, rainy day in the bustling city he called home. He had just lost his job, his savings were dwindling, and his dreams seemed to be slipping away with each passing moment. As he walked down the crowded street, shoulders hunched against the biting wind, he couldn't help but feel like the world was conspiring against him. But little did John know, this was just the beginning of an incredible journey that would change his life forever. As he trudged along, lost in his thoughts, John stumbled upon a small, weathered book lying forgotten in a puddle. Curiosity got the better of him, and he picked it up, wiping away the grime to reveal its title. Fall 7 times, stand up 8. Intrigued, John found shelter under a nearby awning and began to read. The book told the tale of an ancient warrior who faced countless defeats but never gave up. With each fall, the warrior learned a valuable lesson, grew stronger, and eventually became unbeatable. As John read, something stirred within him. He realized that his own life mirrored that of the warrior. He had faced setbacks, disappointments, and failures, but he was still standing. And as long as he was standing, he had a chance to fight back. Inspired by the warrior's story, John decided to take control of his life. He started small, applying for jobs he had previously thought were out of his reach. At first, rejection after rejection poured in, each one a painful reminder of his past failures. But John remembered the warrior's wisdom. Fall 7 times, stand up 8. He refused to let these setbacks define him. Instead, he used each rejection as a stepping stone, learning from his mistakes and improving his approach. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. John's determination never wavered. He took on odd jobs to make ends meet, studied in his free time to improve his skills, and never stopped believing in himself. One day, as John was about to head out for another job interview, he received a call. It was from a company he had applied 2 months ago, one he had almost forgotten about. They wanted to offer him a position, a dream job that aligned perfectly with his passions and skills. John could hardly believe it. All those months of struggle, all those moments of doubt and despair had led to this. He had fallen 7 times, but he had stood up 8. As John hung up the phone, tears of joy streaming down his face, he realized something profound. His journey wasn't just about getting a job or achieving success. It was about discovering the strength within himself, the resilience that had always been there, waiting to be unleashed. From that day forward, John lived his life by the warrior's motto. He faced challenges head-on, knowing that each fall was an opportunity to rise stronger. He shared his story with others, inspiring them to persevere in the face of adversity. Years later, John found himself standing on a stage, addressing a crowd of eager listeners. He spoke of his journey, of the many falls he had endured, and of the incredible strength he had found within himself. As he looked out at the sea of faces, John saw hope, determination, and the spark of possibility in their eyes. He knew that his story had resonated with them, just as the warrior's tale had resonated with him all those years ago. John's voice filled the auditorium as he shared his final words of wisdom. Remember, my friends, life will knock you down. It will test your limits and push you to the brink. But it's not about how many times you fall. It's about how many times you get back up. Fall 7 times, stand up 8. That's the secret to true success and happiness. The crowd erupted in applause, but John barely heard it. His mind was back on that rainy day, remembering the lost and hopeless man he had once been. He smiled, grateful for every fall, every setback, and every moment of doubt that had led him to this point. As John left the stage, he knew that his journey was far from over. There would be more falls, more challenges, and more opportunities to rise. But he was ready for them all, armed with the knowledge that within him lay an unbreakable spirit. And so, dear viewer, as you watch this video, remember John's story. Remember that your falls don't define you. It's how you rise that matters. In your darkest moments, when all seems lost, recall the ancient warrior's wisdom and John's incredible journey. You, too, have the power to stand up, no matter how many times life knocks you down. Your story is still being written, and every fall is just the setup for an even greater comeback. So, the next time you find yourself face down, defeated, and discouraged, take a deep breath. Remember John, remember the warrior, and most importantly, remember the strength that lies within you. Stand up, brush yourself off, and keep moving forward. For, in this simple act of resilience, you'll discover a power you never knew you had. The power to transform your life, one fall at a time. Fall 7 times. Stand up 8. It's more than just a saying. It's a way of life. And it's your turn to embrace it. Are you ready to rise?